Alright, so our first example here says that Sarah has enough material to weave a rectangle rug with an area of 12 square feet. And what we want to do is we want to find out what could be the dimensions of Sarah's rug. Well, the first thing I want to mention is that area is base times the height of a rectangle. So we're going to take one side of the rectangle times the other, and we multiply those two. It should give us the number 12. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by thinking what two numbers, when I multiply them together, are going to equal 12. So I'm going to go ahead and make a list of those numbers now. So of course the first number I'm thinking about is 1 times 12, and 1 times 12 gives me 12. So this has an area of 12. So it's a long, skinny rug. But let's go ahead and look at now its perimeter. Of course, the opposite side is the same length, so it will be 12. And of course, the narrow side is going to be 1. So when we add all these numbers up, I know that 12 plus 12 gives me 24. Plus 1 and 1, 24, 25, 26. So the perimeter of this is 26 feet. Right, now we have a lovely blue rug here, and I know that 2 times 6 equals 12 to give us an area of 12 square feet. So here we see that 2 times 6 gives me an area of 12 square feet for my carpet. Now the next thing we have to do is figure out what is its perimeter. Alright, well we know the opposite sides are the same length, so the top will be 6 and the shorter side will be a 2. And now to find the perimeter, all we have to do is add up these 4 numbers. So I know 2 plus 6 plus 2 plus 6 gives me 16 feet as my perimeter. Alright, for our last rug, we are going to choose one. I know that 3 times 4 is 12. So I know that one side of the rug is going to be 3, the height, and the base will be 4. And 3 times 4 gives us 12 square feet as our area for the rug. Of course, we know that opposite sides are the same length, so opposite the 4 will be another 4, and opposite the 3 will be another 3. So to find the perimeter, all we have to do is add 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4, and that will give us our 14 feet as our perimeter. So what have we learned? We've learned that all the rugs, the green one, the blue one, and the gray one, all have an area of 12 square feet. But what's important for us to learn here is that just because they have the same area in square feet does not mean their perimeters are going to be the same. If we look at our long, skinny green rug, that had a whopping 26 feet as its perimeter. Our blue rug had 16 feet as its perimeter, and our most square of the rugs, our 3x4 rug, only had a perimeter of 14 feet. So don't get fooled just because they have the same area thinking that they will have the same perimeter, because they will not. Alright, now it's your turn to show what you've learned. This one says Manny has enough material to sew a rectangular quilt with an area of 16 square feet. What could the dimensions of the quilt be? And we also want you to mark down what are the different perimeters that you will encounter. So I want you to go ahead and stop the video here, and in a moment I will put up the dimensions that you should have had for your different quilts that you could have made, all with an area of 16 square feet. Alright, so the first thing you should have done was drawn a long skinny triangle to represent 1 times 16 as your 16. So one side, the short side will be 1 and the bottom will be 16. Of course, we know the opposite sides would be the same, so the opposite would be 16 and the other shorter side would be 1. And what you should have done after that was go ahead and added all those up. So you will find that the perimeter is going to be equal to 1 plus 16 plus 1 plus 16 to give you a whopping 34 feet as your perimeter. Let's go ahead and look at our next example. Right, another figure you could have drawn looks like this. It's got a height of 2 and a length of 8, which gives us an area of 16 square feet. Of course, opposite sides are the same, so the opposite of the 8 would be another 8. The opposite of the 2 would be another 2. And when we look at the perimeter of this, the perimeter will be 2 plus 8 plus 2 plus 8, which will give us 20 feet as our perimeter. Alright, the last figure you should have drawn happens to be a square. I know that 4 times 4 gives me an area of 16 square feet. So it looks like all the sides are the same. We got a 4 at the top, a 4 on the other outside. So this is kind of not really unusual, but the square foot area and the perimeter happen to be the same. The square foot area is 16 square feet, which means it takes 16 squares, 1 foot each to make that. Where the perimeter, remember, is just in feet in a straight line of 16 feet. I hope you enjoyed this lesson.